How many of you parents in the audience have turned away as your child cried in pain from their adolescent immunizations? I know I have. And have you ever wondered, are these immunizations actually worth all the pain and mild fever that follows? Today I'm going to talk to you about why adolescent immunizations are so important and how they are worth all the heartache that they cause both the child and the parent. I'll be talking about how greatly immunizations have changed the world from what our grandparents knew to what we know now. I'm going to talk about vaccination safety and also what can happen when vaccinations aren't utilized. The generation that I've grown up in isn't the one where you have a giant smallpox immunization scar on the back of your arm, like our parents, or the one where you personally know people that have died from things like measles and diphtheria. I've grown up in the age of adolescent immunizations. The vaccinations that I got while growing up, and still get annually, haven't always been around. Before the smallpox vaccination, the disease killed nearly 1,000 children per year. And due to the creation of the vaccination, the disease was actually eradicated in 1977. With diphtheria, the cases went from nearly 150,000 in the 1920s, with more than 13,000 deaths, to only one case in 2002. Amazing. Between 1953 and 1963, there were on average 450 Americans that died each year from measles. But with the creation of the vaccination, the cases have been reduced by 99% compared to the pre-vaccination era. Although I've told you how much progress we've made with vaccinations and how they've eradicated deadly diseases, you're probably still wondering just how safe are adolescent immunizations. When it comes to vaccinations, the benefits far outweigh the risks. Dr. Michael Rosen, Chief Wellness Officer at the Cleveland Clinic, and actually a renowned author, says that the benefits of vaccinating your children outweigh the risks 20 to 1. If you went to a casino with those odds, you would leave wealthy. That's how great those odds are. The U.S. immunization program is actually among the safest in the world. Vaccinations are tested for years in multiple combinations with all appropriate vaccinations before they're actually released to be given to your children. So they've been tested in every different variety of ways. In 2007, vaccines were estimated to have prevented 14 million infections and saved over 33,000 lives. Pretty amazing and pretty safe. So now that I've told you just how safe immunizations are to receive, let me tell you how unsafe it is to not get your child immunized. There are risks to unborn children and to unvaccinated populations. A Columbia University study showed that contracting flu within the first half of pregnancy results in 3 times the risk of schizophrenia for the baby. In fact, 14% of all schizophrenics have been related to having flu in the womb. Sad. In the later part of 2008, there were 15 children under the age of 20 years old that had been hospitalized for measles, and 131 that had been reported. Many of these children had not been vaccinated by choice. This coming after the 2000 announcement from the CDC saying that measles had been eradicated in the US. This is what kind of stuff can happen when you don't vaccinate your populations properly. Now, this isn't all the information out there on the benefits of adolescent immunizations, but I hope it's enough to seriously make you think about vaccinating your children, keeping them up to date, or at least enough to make you really read up and research the subject before you decide against it. In conclusion, we started off by painting a picture of a world prior to the creation of vaccinations. We talked about the benefits versus the risks, and also about what can happen if you decide against childhood vaccinations. I hope this was informative and that you will make sure to keep both yours and your child's vaccinations up to date. Thank you for your time.